How to crochet the simple Marguerite stitch, left-handed. For this stitch, you'll need a crochet hook and a ball of yarn. Special thanks to our sponsor Mountain Meadow Wool for providing today's yarn. Today we are using their Laramie line in the color teal. For this stitch, you'll need to know the following techniques: chain stitch, Marguerite cluster with 3 spike loops, which is a special abbreviation we will cover in this tutorial. To begin this stitch, you must create a foundation chain in multiples of 2 plus 1, and we'll add an additional 2 stitches for the base chain. Row 1. We're going to begin by making a spike loop into the second chain from our hook. So we've got 1, 2, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over and draw through, that's the spike loop. Then we'll do another one into the next chain, and then we'll skip a chain here, this one, and then we'll go into the 5th chain and do another spike loop. Okay, so there's 3 spike loops. Then we're going to yarn over and draw through all 4 loops that are on the hook. Okay, so this is going to create our Marguerite stitch, okay, with the 3 spike loops. So now we're going to chain 1, and we are going to do another Marguerite cluster. We'll be picking up 1 loop in the chain that closed the previous Marguerite cluster. Okay, so we're going to actually go back into this chain here, yarn over and draw through. Okay, then we are going to do the second loop in the same place as the last spike of the previous cluster. Okay, so that's this one here, so we'll insert and draw through. Okay, and we'll extend that out. That's what makes it the spike stitch. And for the final loop, we're going to skip 1 chain and then go into the next chain and draw through. Okay, then we'll yarn over and draw through all 4 loops on our hook, and we'll continue repeating this sequence from the chain 1 all the way across. Row 2. After we've turned our work, we're going to begin by chaining 3. Then we'll do our Marguerite cluster by picking up loops in the 2nd and 3rd chains from our hook. So we've got the 2nd chain, the 3rd chain. Make sure we're getting the right one here. Okay, and then we're going to go into the chain that closed the 2nd Marguerite cluster on the previous row. So that's going to be this one here. So we're going to go right into this center one. Okay, we'll pull those up, then we'll yarn over and draw through all 4 loops together. Alright, now we're going to start our repeat by chaining 1, and we are going to work the Marguerite cluster using the 1st loop in the chain. I like to go through this part of the chain, it makes it a little bit nicer looking. Draw through, go into the same place as the last part of our Marguerite cluster that we just did. Okay, and then we're going to go into the next chain that closed our Marguerite cluster from before. Okay. Alright, then we'll yarn over and draw through all 4 loops. Okay, and then we'll continue repeating this sequence all the way across until the last repeat of our row. So if you're having trouble seeing where you should put your last spike loop, there's kind of a small little loop here that closed the next Marguerite cluster, and that's where we want to go into for that final spike loop. You're skipping this strand here from the spike loops in the previous row. And to finish our last repeat, we're going to do our final spike loop into the top of the turn chain from the previous row. It's going to be this one right here. Okay, then we're going to turn our work. So we're going to repeat row 2 until we've reached our desired length. And that's how you crochet the simple Marguerite stitch. After a few repeats, your pattern should look like this. Want more new stitch a day? Join our VIP email list to get every stitch directly to your inbox. Sign up today at newstitchaday.com/VIP.